Hey, sketchy friends. So, how do you decide what to sketch when you really just don't know? Perhaps the issue is a physical thing, and perhaps it's like the photo in my thumbnail where there's literally nothing around you to draw. However, even there in the Mahadi Hadi pans of Botswana, with nothing in for miles in any direction, there was actually still stuff to sketch. So, for example, there's actually the nothingness, so the beautiful dark clouds of the sky versus the white, salty pans. Pretty simple, but it's still recording the memory of where you were. Out of shot, what you can't see, there was actually my husband. There was my car, there was a tent, there was a breakfast table, and so on and so forth. So I did actually capture that moment in my sketchbook, which is right here. And I also included a little photo of my husband as well, which I took on a portable printer just to add into the scene. So perhaps it's more a mental block and you just can't figure out what to draw, how to technically portray something on the page. So perhaps you fear that you lack the skills necessary to actually draw the thing and that it won't look any good. Well, we do all know the answer to this, right? Fear blocks us from living so much of our lives. I try not to let it, but I think it's natural for all of us. There's just this amount of fear that stops us from doing certain things. It could be something that's blocking you from starting your art journey or from even continuing. Perhaps you've just got a bit of a block around it. The answer to it is just do it anyway. I want you to really dig deep and find your most anarchic punk rock daredevil side, and I want you to just say to yourself, F it, it may end up looking rubbish anyway, but I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it anyway, doesn't matter. So feel free to blast the Sex Pistols, Rage Against the Machine, or anything else equally anarchic that just makes you feel like you can take on the world. So maybe the problem is not physical or mental, or it could be both. And then on top of that, it could be an emotional block as well. And that's something that I've been experiencing myself the past few weeks. I've just been in a real emotional hole. There's a good reason for it that I won't go into, but still, it just kind of sucks when feel no desire to pick up your pen and sketch. And well, so what helps with this? The first thing is to be kind to yourself, which we hear and read a lot. It's an easy one to say, very, very hard to do. Again, have first-hand experience of this, as do most of us, I should imagine. But a more practical suggestion that I'd like to float to you guys is to have a project. And that's actually what has managed to help me get out of my hole, or at least to keep me going a little bit throughout it. I have an ongoing personal project and I've been doing it for several months now. And it's something I just work on as and when I have time or when I feel like it. Also, if I'm available at the right location, because it is an urban sketching based project. And it's really the thing that's just kind of kept me going. You know, if I feel drained or unable to get enthusiastic, at least I've got something to kind of focus on, and I don't really have to think about it too much because I know the parameters of the project, so I just need to go out and sit down and do it. So another sort of just side tip or tangent to this is to have a group of people to sketch with. I know this one can feel a little bit tricky and it depends on where you live and who you know, etc. But when I moved to Johannesburg, I finally lived close enough to an urban sketching group, which was really amazing and has definitely helped me do more and get further and just enjoy urban sketching more for sure. And this is just something I didn't have when I was living in the particular part of the UK that I lived at the time, although there are so many more chapters around these days. It's really exploded. So my Urban Sketch Johannesburg group, they meet once a month. But through it, I met other people who wanted to do more sketching on location and they wanted to meet once a week. So actually, funnily enough, I'm only just thinking about this now. The friend who started it had a project in mind. She wanted to sketch this one particular place, big complex, once a week for a year and build up a whole sketchbook of this particular place. So now I'm thinking about it as the social aspect and the project together. And it really mobilized people. And that's what we did for a year. In fact, we ended up doing it for 2 years. We have now branched out to other locations. Other locations are available in Johannesburg. But yeah, it really cemented our habit of meeting up once a week together. And again, really beneficial just to have friends to bounce off of. I'm obviously relating this to urban sketching, sketching on location, because that's generally what I do, but you can apply this to any art making. So yeah, we've been meeting up for 4 years now, and we even have Christmas parties and everything, and I love it. It's like my weird little second family. Love it. So I know the meet the other people tip may induce some eye rolls sometimes, and I know it did for me when I lived in a tiny little village in England, and I was like, ugh, people, can't find them, don't know what to do, don't live in a city, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, just take that one as you will. But maybe you can even join or start like a virtual urban sketching group on Zoom, or just a sketching group. Doesn't have to be urban sketching, obviously. So yeah, so that's just a little side tip for you. Anyway, back to creative projects. They don't have to be massive. They could be like a challenge, for example. You can start small. You could join my 7-day urban sketching at home challenge if you want, completely free. You can sign up in the description below. There's a playlist here on YouTube of me completing all of the challenges. It is a 7-day challenge. You do not need to do anything consecutively. I know that's difficult. You can just do it as and when you want to. That's fine. Also, I have another challenge, or not challenge, but maybe series that might be of interest, which is building a sketchbook spread of Gaudi architecture. Really, really fun, and lots of people joined in with. It's just here on YouTube. It's just a playlist. I'll put it in the corner of the video, and you can go and check that out after this one perhaps and see what's involved. Got all the photo references there, and you can just follow along. So that's a solid 6 sketches in that challenge. That should keep you occupied for a while. So Kosha Kerner did a great project in lockdown. She was sketching her home, like quite a lot of sketchers were doing at the time. So she also created an accordion sketchbook. I think every room in her place, in her house, or lots of different angles, and she definitely talks about it here in this book as well. If you don't have this book, I love it. It's just so inspirational. Kosha Kerner, Life is Better When You Draw It. So inspirational. Not really an instructional book, it's more inspirational, but I think that's what I really like about it. And yeah, she talks about doing a mini project and recurring themes of drawing your house, and you know, you can draw the same room or same view of a room like a million times, and like lots of different materials or colors or whatever, you know. So that's a good project. So again, if you're not sure on how to even get started, or if your brain just won't even allow you to think about how to get started, just join the 7-day urban sketching at home challenge. I give you the exact prompts of what to do, and I should send you a video of exactly how I've done it. So you don't need to use your brain. It's fine. I have another friend called Helen Wilding over in Melbourne, Australia, and I've got one of her prints on the wall there actually. And she's got a great project, and this is like the opposite end of the spectrum, where it's quite a large one, and she is sketching every single building on Brunswick Street in Melbourne. It's a very large street. I actually enjoyed seeing it for the first time last December, actually on my way to Helen's house, which was really nice. So definitely check out her project on Instagram and her website as well, which I'll link to. She also sells beautiful prints of various different buildings along the street, which is really cool. That project, I think she said, has been running for like 5 or 6 years. So definitely a bigger project to take on. And my project, you ask? Well, I am sketching scenes of Johannesburg on grocery bags. So let me just show you. Hang on. So these are paper grocery bags by a supermarket called Checkers. Checkers 6060. As you can see, they're brown paper bags, and I actually draw on the plain side of them, although lots of people keep saying I should draw on the branded side, but they're quite hectic on the branded side. And I'll just show you some photos on the screen here. But so I sketch on location, and I'm sketching different scenes of Johannesburg. And the service is called Checkers 6060 because they will deliver your groceries within 60 minutes, oftentimes within 20 minutes, which is crazy, but very, very useful for the unorganized of us. And I'm mainly using colored pencil, which is very different for me, very different way of working. And obviously it's brown paper. It's not too rough, but it's definitely got a bit of texture, and it just takes me a really long time to actually sketch on them. So I often have to do 2 visits to the same location, which is annoying, but it's keeping me going. So my aim is to do 60 sketches for obvious reasons. And I think maybe I've done 13 so far, and I've been going for probably most of this year. Might even be since last year. My God, I don't know. But that's fine. That's fine. I'm just going to keep rocking along until I reach 60 sketches. And then I think I'm going to organise myself a little exhibition. Well, not for myself. Hopefully people will come. I've never done an exhibition before because in my head I'm like, not real artist. Mind gremlins. Let's not go there. But yeah, I just think it would be really fun. And we'll just see where it takes me. But if I don't know what to do, or if I'm feeling a bit lost, then I'm like, I grab myself a checkers bag and I go and find somewhere to sketch. It doesn't have to be one of the big landmarks. It could be anything, you know, a view from a coffee shop, whatever. I've actually done my living room as well, because that's in Johannesburg, so that's fine, right? So now it's your turn to think of what project you want to do. I actually have a second project that I'm working on right now, but perhaps I'll talk about that in another video. But that's something that's come up for me recently and I'm really enjoying it. But I'll talk about that separately. But yeah, don't overthink it too much. Maybe you prefer to start with a little challenge, like one of the ones I've mentioned that I have, but I'm sure lots of other sketchers and YouTubers and whoever have other challenges as well that you can do. For example, one that jumps off my head, the famous one is Inktober. You could try that, for example. You don't have to wait till October. You can just take the prompts that have already been released and just try it. Also, there's lots of variations to Inktober now, so you can find a flavour that fits you. So yeah, let's start small. I know myself, I'm not very good at like daily challenges. So I've never done Inktober, for example, because I just really prefer to stick to sketching on location wherever possible. Although I'm sure there probably is an urban sketching. Well, in fact, I think they do one every single month, the Urban Sketches organisation. But anyway, I'm not good at doing things every single day. Who knows what is going to happen in a day? I just can't can't reach that level of commitment. I prefer projects that I can just work on whenever I feel like it, whenever is good for me. That works for me. Some people like open-ended projects that could go on forever until they get bored. I'm also not very good at that. I need a goal. So for example, checkers, I'm going to do 60 sketches and it's a stretch. As I said, I've only done like 13, 14 of them and it's probably been a full year. So if it takes me 2 more years to do it, that's fine. And I might not ever reach 60. I might just get bored and not do it anymore. And that's also fine because it's a personal project, so it doesn't matter. I like to put a little bit of pressure on myself, otherwise I never do anything. So I need some goals and some boundaries to keep me on track. But if you want to do something a bit more open-ended, it's just so that you don't ever sort of sit down and think, God, I don't know what to sketch. Like, I have no idea. There's some more examples from urban sketchers, perhaps. I know Liz Steele. I don't know if she does it anymore. I think so. Sketches ornamental teacups. She collects sketches of those. Back in the day, Pete Scully definitely used to collect lots of sketches of fire hydrants from all over the place. So, you know, yours might be like ornamental streetlights, or depends on where you live, obviously. Anyway, I hope that has really inspired you because that's definitely helped me get through my emotional hole at the moment. Or it's past now, I think we're good. But yeah, last few weeks. But yeah, don't overthink it too much and just go for it and don't put too much pressure on yourself. And if you get away into the project and you don't want to do it anymore, just don't do it anymore. That's it. Fine. You have my permission. You don't need it, but you have it. Let me know in the comments below if you're working on a project or if you're thinking of starting a project or if you want to bounce some ideas of projects. I would love to hear from you guys. As always, if you'd like to learn how to sketch the world around you, specifically in ink and watercolour, then my course Sketch Your Adventures is a really great place to start. If you're brand new to sketching, but also if you're new to that particular style, then do check it out, sketchyouradventures.com.